Now welcome to section 2. Here we are going to discuss learning techniques, the techniques which we have used in Elevate activities. We have used more than 30 techniques, and these all techniques are based on written tasks, verbal tasks, outside school activities and lab-based activities. First of all, we are going to take up role play. First, understand it. The student enacts for a person or an object. The objective is to extract feelings and introduction of the character enacted upon. This entices the student for deep down studies of the character, also helps the student to compose and be in elements at the time of act. Finally, it generates teamwork spirit in the students. With the help of role play, we have developed many activities. One of those we are going to discuss a little bit. And every activity which we have designed has some meaning behind that. For example, components of food for class 6. This activity is designed to understand various components of food. Say carbohydrate, protein, fat, vitamin, mineral, fiber, water. So these all components of food are going to be enacted in this work activity by these students. And this activity will tell students, rather will open their eyes that what kind of intake the student should have in their food. When students are doing these activities, they would be learning that if they ask for junk food, what are the harms of that? A dining table discussion students can have with their parents based on this activity, because students are preparing themselves to speak in front of the class. So we say that students always ask for the junk food and never like the food which is homemade. Here this activity is going to open their eyes. So that is the purpose of each and every activity, that whatsoever we are designing with a purpose. So the message could be conveyed to the students to use in real life. This activity we will take up in detail in section 3. Now let's move to the related techniques. We say role play we have done. After this, symposium. Symposium is a kind of activity where role play is graduating. In role play, you have prepared yourself, you have already spoken to the student, say standing in front of the class. Symposium, now students are asking you questions. You are sitting in shape of a panel, students are asking questions and you are replying, and teacher is standing as a moderator. So this is symposium. We have many activities on symposium. Then debate. Few students for, few students against, and now they are debating. So this is also a kind of role play. Somewhere role play is giving birth to all new activities which are given in Elevate activity books. Skit. This is something like this, that street drama. Students need not require any kind of makeup or costume. They just know the subject, they decide what role they have to play for, and then start acting. So skit activities are also part of Elevate books. Extempore. This is something that you have to tell to students and immediately they have to reply. So the composure, that's the most important thing. If you are composed, you can be in your elements. If you are in your elements, you are confident. If you are confident, work is done. So these activities are with some basic purpose that each and every student should use that in real life and see a connection between classroom learning and real life requirements. Then we say declamation. Declamation is something like this, that re-giving of a famous speech. A speech given by a famous person earlier, and now you are reenacting it with intonations, with actions and elocution. So you got to be very articulate. This is inculcating habits of articulation. Speech. Generally speeches are very boring, but you can give a life to speech by making it interesting with examples, with your actions, with your style of speaking, with your style of standing. So speech activities you will find. Group discussions. Yes, group discussions, they help in collaborative learning. They help in teamwork. They think, they prepare, they share, they justify. So that is group discussion. We have many activities on group discussion. Then brainstorming. Brainstorming is a kind of lower version of group discussion. In group discussion, you come prepared, but brainstorming, you are just with your general ideas and you throw your ideas, you write your ideas, you post your ideas, and then out of that, we find some good ideas and apply. So this is the way that we are doing role play, we are doing symposium, debate, skit, extempore, declamation, speech, group discussion, brainstorming, and many more techniques you will see in Elevate books. Now we are moving to project-based learning. Now project-based learning is something like this, that you are asking someone to do, to make, to create, and before doing, making, creating, you have to study, you have to gather some data, you have to organize some things. Here we see this survey. We are taking, for example, survey. This is project-based learning. Survey extends an opportunity to gather relevant data and information to draw a conclusion based on the findings. In this, student needs to communicate with the strangers, present them with the questionnaire, and record their relevant answers. Then she has to analyze the data to draw her own conclusions. So survey is an activity outside school. You are giving some subject to study in deep, and students are supposed to go outside school to give it a shape. Here, this is another activity. The base of this is again the child. Again we are having a burning question. What is that? That every child is so fond of mobile handset, the expensive mobile handset, without knowing whether the features are for his usage or not. In this survey activity, the child is assigned to go to 20 households and ask various questions about the mobile handset. Ask them that what kind of mobile set they use, what kind of features do they look for when they decide for new mobile handset. The child goes to the households and asks various questions. Ask questions that would you like to have, say, touch screen mobile or a keypad mobile? Would you like to have, say, FM radio in this or not? Would you like to have that much applications in this or not? Would you like to have in this WhatsApp or not? Some would answer and some would reject. Let the rejection be there. Let them learn that in life we have a lot of rejections also. And then after doing this survey, they are coming back to their class with some readings. And with the help of these readings, they are giving a presentation and learning somewhere again that life is not that way easy. We must zero in on our needs first, then we ask for our wants. So this activity is designed in this fashion that apart from completing your syllabus, assessing the child on scholastic and co-scholastic, the child is learning the power of decision making with critical thinking. research-based learning. This technique of learning promotes self-studies from various sources such as articles, journals, reports, internet, etc. The student finds interesting facts in shape of examples, tables, illustrations, and present them in his own innovative ways. However, the student can be asked to file a handwritten report, a PowerPoint presentation, or a question answer session to make his findings public. The research work can be an individual task or it can be a group effort. Some related techniques on which you will find various activities in Elevate. Say investigation, create and innovate, picture mystery, group lab activities, and mathematical lab activities. Another technique is application based technique. It evokes higher order level thinking for constructive attitude. It has a lot of scope for analysis and synthesis. It helps in making your classroom learning interesting. Ultimately, it helps in making decisions. So this technique we are going to describe with the help of this activity. This activity is from real numbers, 10th class, HCF, very boring, HCF. So how we can make it interesting? The moment you will connect it to the real life, it will become interesting. Students will see meaning behind this, that why we should study for this. The moment they will understand the meaning, they will start taking interest. The moment they will start interest, they will start listening, they will start responding, and ultimately they will start using in their real life. It says that you have to lay down the floor of this flat in which we have, say, living room, bedroom 1, 2, kitchen, and this is the activity where the child is learning that HCF is going to work. How? To find the largest size of square tile which could be fitted in all rooms equally without cutting and giving some cost effectiveness, the child will start taking interest in this. So this activity is designed with this purpose. The boring things could become interesting and the child could see the value of HCF learning in his or her life. Now there are various CBSE initiatives. One of those is problem solving assessment. We call it PSA. I'm just reading it out. What is this all about? Problem solving assessment. This is the initiative of CBSE. It says that PSA would be compulsory for class 9th and class 11th with 10% weightage. 60 items MCQ type for 60 marks will be there. This is a standalone 2 hours exam conducted by CBSE, and it is meant to assess language conventions, qualitative and quantitative reasoning for 21st century skills like critical thinking, creative thinking, decision making, and problem resolving. PSA replaces FA4 in class 9th and class 10th. Obtained marks are reflected in one language, English or Hindi, and mathematics, social science, science. In class 10th and class 12th, students can apply for improvement. So this is PSA. We have a number of activities which are helping students to prepare for PSA. And PSA has no any particular syllabus. Whatsoever you have done from the beginning anything can be asked. But whatsoever is being asked, that is somewhere you have already done. So PSA is a kind of extra test which is just assessing that how much language conventions have you got. What is the scale of your qualitative and quantitative reasoning? And ultimately, this is going to help you in your competitive exams for various kinds of jobs and higher studies. This is another activity which we give in our Elevate book, and it helps the student to prepare themselves. Related techniques which we are using for the preparations of PSA is analytical reasoning, mathematical reasoning, map readings, data interpretation, so on and so forth. Next technique is multidisciplinary activity. This is also helping in PSA, as PSA is also multidisciplinary activity. You do one thing, you are assessed on all subjects. So multidisciplinary activity is like this, that a theme is one. On the basis of that theme, mathematics teacher is assessing you, English teacher is assessing you, social science teacher is assessing you, science teacher is assessing you. Like this, you are assessed in one shot for various subjects. This is a practice for PSA. Here the chosen theme is explored from all points of view. English primary skills can be observed. Mathematical calculations can be exercised. Scientific attitude and civic sense can be measured. Elevate has connected all subjects' contents in such activities, so it can be conducted by different subject teachers. This is multidisciplinary activity. The theme is agriculture in India. Here we are connecting this with mathematics. Say coordinate geometry. We are connecting it with social science. The economic portion, that is factors of production. The same theme, agriculture in India, is being connected to science lesson, that is improvement in food resources. And same theme is being connected to writing skills of the child in English subject. This is the activity. As we saw in the previous slide, that science is connected to agriculture. So this is the activity for the science teacher. Same way, English teacher would be having a separate activity, mathematics teacher would be having a separate activity, and in fact this is the activity for the mathematics teacher. And social science teacher would be having a separate activity for this. But idea is that all teachers should get together, make the classroom duration say 2 hours, conduct this activity and assess the kids on their respective subjects in one shot. Now we are going to talk about ASL, assessment of speaking listening skills. This is very important. Say, before going to the nitty-gritties, we can talk about that language is having say 4 skills, 4 primary skills, that is listening, speaking, reading and writing. Then after there are sub-primary skills, that is grammar part, that is vocabulary, that is syntax, that is phrases. So these all things are there which we have to prepare, but better we should concentrate on the primary skills. Sub skills will be developed in course of time. Here the idea is to strengthen speaking listening skills of the student. ASL has been introduced for classes 9th, 10th and 11th in 2013-14. It is applicable in English language and literature and English communicative. In 9th and 10th classes, it will be conducted in Essay 1 and Essay 2 and will be carrying 20 marks weightage respectively. Elevate has designed many activities to assess and enhance these primary skills of language expertise. Now we are going to talk about the marking scheme for say 9th class, 10th class and 11th class. This is particularly for 2013 and 14. It is going to be improved, but presently it is something like this, that 70 marks in English for reading, writing and grammar, and then literature, textbook and novels, and then after assessment of speaking and listening skills for 20 marks, and then for OTBA 10 marks. It will go like this. Techniques used in Elevate to promote ASL, art of listening, in which the activity is designed that teacher will speak, students will listen and they will give answer verbally and in black and white. Presentation and discussion. Students are gathering data, they are going for survey and coming to class back and sharing their information with other students. Then interview one-on-one. This is going to help the child to communicate and see that where he is not feeling confident. Like this, as we discussed in our earlier slides, it is debate, symposium, group discussions, declamations, speeches. These all things help the child to prepare for ASL. This is the activity for interview. This we want to show you here, that whatsoever techniques are being discussed are used for class 1, for class 2, for class 3 up to class 10th in all activities. OTBA, Open Textbook Assessment, is for 10 marks weightage, is mandatory for class 9th and class 11th students. For 9th class, this is applicable for all subjects: English, Hindi, mathematics, social science and science. For 11th class, it is applicable only for 3 subjects, that is geography, economics and biology. Question paper will be based on one of the study material provided by CBSE. 100 marks paper with 3.5 hours duration. But this is not for only OTBA. The complete exam for summative assessment number 2 would be for 3.5 hours. So this half hour is given extra for OTBA answering. Case study. Case study is an open-ended story based on the real life challenge that infuses a lot of energy in the student. This is an important child-centric learning strategy. The child gets first-hand knowledge and then study them and come to her own conclusions. This is the worksheet about case study. Like this, we have many in our Elevate books. This is another technique where the child is seeing a chart and then reading that and coming to some kinds of information. This is Chartbuster can help in vibrancy kills boredom. Get the kids stand up, group up and draw their observations on chart, or let them read a chart and draw inferences. So this is the technique Chartbuster. Related techniques we have, say articles, various diagrams, concepts, mind maps, say pictures, cartoons, problem, situations, etc. for the preparation of OTBA test. Individual activities. We have many worksheets that helps the child to do silent reading, observations and expression. Here the child learns to do multitasking projects. In this we have, say, remedial worksheets. Whatsoever you have done, you are doing it yourself silently to check your performance. Related activities like crossword, checklist, labeling, quiz, etc. Value education. CBSE has taken initiative and collaborated with Ramakrishna Mission. They are making a value education module for class 6th, 7th and 8th. This program has 16 modules for each classes, spreading over 48 modules of 45 minutes each. Elevate has good amount of inspirational activities for all classes. This is an activity. This is the story of two boys of same class. One is good in studies but very naughty. One is not that way good in studies but very calm, composed and respects teachers and other students. This story tells that how we have to live an ethical life. Like this, we have a number of stories which make the learning process interesting and effective. This is the end of section 2.